Hello, everyone. My name is Cindy Chang. I'm the Chinese Academy Dean. Today, I would like to talk to you about how Level Chinese is implemented in the IB, PYP, and MYP framework at our school from kindergarten to 8th grade. Before we started to use Level Chinese, we had built our own reading curriculum and selected a set of textbooks for our program. Our teachers were asked to follow both textbooks and the curriculum in each grade level. However, we started to face some of the issues in regards to reading. We were wondering if we could really teach our students to read independently. We often got asked from parents what their child's reading level is, and our answers to them were corresponding to our curriculum, but not to a specific leveling system. Books. We have a good collection of books in our library, but it sometimes seemed a little challenging to find the right books that are appropriate for our students academically. Assessment. Our teachers all had their own assessment, but there was not a systematic assessment that across the board that our whole program could rely on. Last but not least, how do we foster students to read for pleasure? These were all the areas that we started to wonder and ask ourselves. About 4 to 5 years ago, we started to use the Level Chinese system. Level Chinese provides 20 levels, and in each level, there's a set of reading standards that the students must master. And also, there's a text complexity alignment throughout these 20 levels. They also offer leveled books in each level. So the system gives a clear picture of what the expectation should look like in each level. Once the teachers have taught all the standards, then students can have the assessment, which is very systematically designed. So for a school like us, how do we integrate Level Chinese into our own reading curriculum? At our school, we have 3 different reading curriculum components. The first is our school-owned reading, what we call them objectives. These objectives are based on the textbook mostly, which are grammar, word analysis, sentence structures, and also skills for just reading comprehension. And also, there's a component for the IB language scope and sequence, which is broader that the students' learning outcomes should look like. And then also, third, we started to use the Level Chinese reading standards. So these 3 components, we all have to think about how can we really integrate them. So we first look at the Level Chinese levels, which there are 20, and we started to map those levels out through our kindergarten to 8th grade. We start little by little in kindergarten, as we have to teach our kindergarten kids pre-reading skills. When the students enter our elementary, they are targeted 3 different levels in each grade. So the students have to learn, have to master. And there's a repeated level, overlapping level from grade to grade. So the students can review again and start to work on that level in the next academic year. And that's how we map that out throughout our whole program to 8th grade. Of course, then we started to also face some other challenges. We have the textbooks, and we have more level books, but we have the same time that we have to teach all these books. We have the IB curriculum. What would the instruction look like? And we do know that the instruction has to look differently. Small groups or whole group instruction. All these started to become somewhat challenges for us. Therefore, we started to build this master mapping curriculum. So the first arrow shows here that these are our school-owned curriculum reading components. We have the language scope and sequence here, and also the green area, which is our objectives that we call them, that based on our textbooks. And these are year-long objectives, learning outcomes. And in the middle, that we integrate the level Chinese standards. So this is a second grade example. We target level F in the first few months and then level G in the next few months. And these are all the standards provided by level Chinese. Then the third arrow shows here, these are the subject areas such as reading and writing, and even we try to integrate math into this. So we ask the students and the teachers to really look at those materials, the texts that they will be using, and also having our teachers to think about what materials that they can use to teach those standards provided by the level Chinese system. So as you can see here, those that are being highlighted in blue are the standards that correspond to the level Chinese system. So this is a great whole school curriculum that we can look at it throughout our whole program. So now, how do we do that in the IB framework? So let's take third grade as an example. We have a unit in third grade called Who We Are. So the students really need to understand the central idea, which is to understand physical, social, and historical factors shape identity. And here are the 3 lines of inquiries, which are the areas that the students need to understand, such as the characteristics of humans, the human societies across time, and how we identify ourselves. So this is a great example that we integrate the level Chinese standards. So such as using the conjunction words, using the 长得 and adjective, and also using 像 meaning like or similar to. And for the craft and structure, students need to identify descriptive sentences and also determine the meaning, and also to distinguish between the first and third person narration. So when the students are reading stories or legends or some kind of texts, or even from our textbook lessons, the teachers have to follow these standards, that they need to teach those standards, so for the kids to really understand the bigger central idea that the IB unit requests us to do. So that's why we have those 3 curriculum components, but our goal is to integrate those components into one single track. So first, we really need to have deep understanding of each component. And then once we do that, we have our teachers cross-reference each of the component, and they start seeing the similarities. And actually they see it and they realize these are actually exactly the same. So that's how we start building this integration in our reading curriculum. So I hope this is an example that can give you some idea for your school, for your program, and I hope you find this helpful. Happy reading, everyone.